All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about meat. To eat or not to eat. And it's just not that simple. So I'm sure you have heard vegans talking about how much healthier it is to eat no meat, and people who are keto or even the carnivore diet where it's like all meat, eat everything, ears, nose, tail. And the reality is that when it comes to health, or arguably anything in life, you put the word too, T-O-O, in front of anything, too much or too little, and you've got an imbalance. An imbalance that just wreaks havoc on your health. So the first thing you got to ask yourself, right? Because you've got vegans who are like, oh my gosh, we're so much healthier and our diet's reversed all these diseases. Then you have keto and it's like, we're so much healthier, we've reversed all these diseases. Well, question number one is, what was the person eating before they switched the diet? Like, what did they switch out? Were they going to a drive-thru every single day? Because anything is pretty much going to be an improvement from that, right? Like, okay, for them to have had diabetes or any kind of insulin resistance or high blood pressure, this condition, that health condition, like you were probably eating pretty crap to begin with. So the first thing with meat, number one is the quality of the meat is going to matter, okay? So you see a documentary on being vegan and it's like, oh, meat is a carcinogen, it's killing people, it's causing this disease and that disease. Well, number one, what kind of meat is it? So you want to remove processed meats off the table, right? Hot dogs and lunch meats and stuff with all of this crap and artificial color and just junk, pink slime. I don't know if you ever saw that Jamie Oliver video, just stuff that no longer really resembles meat, right? It's got a ton of filler in it, just garbage. Preservatives, no. So remove that. We're taking that off the table. We're not even going to count that as meat, okay? Next thing, we're going to talk about the difference between organic and conventional. This is a huge difference. So when we talk about being vegan and we say like, hey, you run the risk of a B12 deficiency because human beings don't have an organ called a rumen, which herbivores do. They're called ruminants, that allows them to eat plants and convert that to B12. We don't, which makes humans obligate carnivores to a certain extent. Yes, you can supplement. It's a different conversation. So why should we have a little bit of meat? Well, everything from collagen to one of the omega-3s that doesn't come from plants that we don't effectively convert from the other two omega-3s to B12. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. So you don't need a lot, but it's arguably better for you if you have a little bit, okay? So when we turn around and we look at the quality of that meat, you might have somebody argue with you that like, well, too much meat over a lifetime is going to have too much iron. It's going to build up in the body, right? Well, too much is too much, right? And that can lead to hardening of the arteries. Not enough can lead to anemia. Once again, we're back to balance, okay? Now, somebody might also tell you, well, you know what? These animals don't actually have B12 in them anymore. And here's a study. Well, that's because conventionally raised animals, cows, are eating genetically modified corn and soy. That is not a normal diet for a cow, right? So the quality of your meat, if you're gonna eat meat, you don't need to eat a ton of it. Invest in high quality meat. I'd rather you have grass-fed, grass-finished beef, no hormones, no antibiotics, okay? Instead of a lot of genetically modified corn and soy fed cows with hormones and antibiotics. Really bad for you. And I'm going to give you an example, all right? So let me show you the difference of what the meat actually looks like. So right here, guys. All right, so this is an organic piece of grass-fed beef, okay? This is a conventionally raised, hormones, antibiotics, genetically modified corn-fed piece of beef. It's the same cut of beef. Now, to give you another example, this is farmed salmon. Okay, look how fatty it is. Look at the color of the meat. Look how thick it is. This is wild-caught salmon. Look how lean it is, how bright and red, how much more nutrients. Not only is one of those pieces of meat much leaner, the quality of the fat is very different. So the wild salmon has omega-3. The grass-fed cattle has omega-3, which is that really heart-healthy, good for cognitive function fat. The other type of fat is going to be omega-6. Too much omega-6 and you got a lot of inflammation. And I could go on, but the point of this is that the quality of the meat, beyond processed crap, matters. So eat less meat. We don't need a ton of meat. You don't need it. It's not good for you. A lot of animal protein, a lot of saturated fat has been shown to shorten lifespan, and it's got a host of other issues, whereas you leave it all out and you can get nutrient deficiencies, which isn't good for you either, okay? Balance, less meat. I mean, if 20% of your daily intake was meat or animal protein, that would be more than enough. And so while you're eating less meat, you're gonna have a little more money to spend towards that meat. So go with high quality meat. High quality. So wild salmon, grass-fed, grass-finished cattle that has no hormones, no antibiotics. Things like chicken, they don't have hormones. So you see like hormone-free chicken, they don't add hormones to chicken, so that's kind of bull. But free-range chickens that are like not eating genetically modified corn and soy, organic, so their feed is organic, right? That's going to be healthier for you. Less of it. That's it. Balance. Balance is key. And quality counts.